Hi guys, today I would like to share with you my finished model of MiG-29 from Ukrainian Air Force. I'm not exactly happiest about the outcome because to be honest the paint job was not the best one. However, the model taught me a lot. I learned a lot about a proper application of quite new LP colors from Tamiya. I mean quite new for me. So see for yourself, could have been done better, but to be honest, this was also my first experience with a larger decals, and I have to admit that IBG decals for this Ukrainian mutation of this airplane are very nice. And all in all, it's a nice display piece for my personal display, but let's be frank, I wouldn't take it to any competition. Still, it gave me a nice experience, plenty of nicely spent time, so time to move on. Okay, now what I have prepared for you today as well is the brand new M36 Jackson from Tamiya. Tamiya used to repack this model. I believe it was originally made by Italy, but don't take it for granted, please. And this one is supposed to be made by a new tool. Finally, Tamiya moved on from their rubber tracks. So they are using those partial parts of tracks, and we will get to them later on. And on the first glance, the model looks quite nice. The price tag is in a ballpark of 40 euros, give or take. Let's check the content of the box now. Usual Tamiya olive green plastic. Kit includes also a one figure of a tanker, which is quite nice. And as for the surface details, there is nothing wrong with them. I personally would welcome a bit more details, but it's just maybe me. On the other hand, the parts are flush with no problems, so it's a decent beginner kit, I would say. As you can take a look, it's quite dull, to be honest. Just ordinary plastic with nothing extra special. I mean, it's okay, it's clean, everything, but from my point of view, I would expect slightly more for 40 euros. So let's move on. Another sprue with the side skirts, tools, etc. It's actually visible that the tool is quite new, those nice details on the grills and so on. Okay, but still, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, but it's a really nice beginner or medium level skilled modeler kit. Nothing extra fancy. The machine guns are actually made quite nicely. I hope you can see the detail. And here comes the tracks. As you can see, they are actually in a parts that are solid. And you just have to glue them on the kit with a few separated pieces for the places where the tracks are actually curving. I'm okay with that. Still, it looks far better than the usual rubber tracks, but in today's options for modelers, I believe that 3D painted tracks are almost a must because they are nicely workable. They look really perfect, and this is, I believe, like a step down, especially given the price tag I keep mentioning. Yeah, wheels and the rest of the undercarriage. Nothing special, nothing fancy here. Decals are actually very sparse, which is acceptable for for the tank to build actually tank destroyer. If we check the manual, background information. Okay, Tamiya is offering some nice camouflage. Actually, this is not a construction manual. These are suggested camouflages. Okay. You can make a dull green or quite interesting winter model. Given the fact that the turret is actually open without any top cover, it gives you some space to play with the details a bit. And in the rest of this paper you can see some additional information related to the model. Okay. And as for the instruction manual, nothing fancy here. Still black and white. I believe that in 2025 we can expect a bit more bang for our buck, but okay. Yeah, here you can see the track assembly. As I said, fair enough, it's doable. It actually helps beginners, I believe, but a skilled modeler would prefer to have those tracks separately, track lengths. Yeah, there is a slight hint of an interior, but it's not completely detailed. It's only the parts you can see actually through the turret basket. But better than nothing, I guess. Yeah, basically just ammo stowage. So as a starter model for some kit, I believe it's absolutely fine, absolutely doable, and definitely not so much complicated as a new mini art or MiG models are. So all in all, if the price tag would be like 1/4 lower, I would say, yeah, go for it immediately. But like this, maybe wait for some sale or something, then it makes sense. Just to repeat, the model was actually released this year. It's quite new. And I'm not entirely sure whether anyone did this particular tank destroyer in the past decade. So also an option if you are hell-bent to build exactly this kind of machine. But for myself, I'll definitely walk around this one and wait for perhaps a Hellcat or something more sexier. I don't know. So much for this. Thank you for watching and see you later. Bye.